So I think I've already covered the topic. It's probably on the Einstein bots and how we can increase the customer experience and enhance it. So the topics we'll be covering today is we'll start with some basic topics like what are bots and some core concepts around it, different types of bots, and diving into the use cases which are pretty important, right? We need to know why are we using bots and how they can help us in different scenarios. So I'll be jotting down a few scenarios here and use cases, but there are a lot more to it. Then we'll be diving into a demo and see how the bot actually works. And then I'll explain you how we can implement step by step on the Einstein bot. So we'll do a dive live session on creating an Einstein bot here. That will be the agenda for today. I've already introduced myself, so I'll probably skip the slide for now, but you can reach out to me on LinkedIn or Twitter in case you have any questions post the session. Then, starting with what are bots? So I think we come across with bots every day in our usual routine, right? Even if you book an Uber, you want to reach out to Uber support or maybe different apps. Like I was at a Nike website a few weeks ago, and I had to ask like about my order. So they were using Einstein bot. It's pretty fascinating to know, right? That Nike, Adidas, all these big players are using Einstein bots for customer satisfaction, right? So bots, I think pretty much everybody knows, but to get a bit technical, it is more on the software application designed to simulate human conversations, and you don't need a actual human, speaking to somebody. You can kind of automate it and can interact to the users via text or other various voice platforms. It is not just text, it can also reach out through WhatsApp, Facebook, or even IVR is there. It is also kind of a bot. So it can be used in multiple ways. Now, there are a couple of types of bots which Salesforce supports. One is standard bots and one are enhanced bots. So, standard bots are something which are pretty basic and they come with some essentials features which are required to build a bot. You can build a bot, deploy it. It has some simple dialogue flows which you can use, and for basic intent recognition and some standard communication with the client and interactions. But it is not you cannot add AI to the standard bots, but when it comes to AI, you can use enhanced bots. So the enhanced bot, they have a lot more capabilities than standard bots, and they have some more sophisticated features. This includes natural language processing. It has more complex dialog flows. You can have like multi-level conversations, multi-step conversations, and the advanced intent recognition. You can build your own AI models on top of it. So this is pretty intense, and this is what we'll be covering in today's session as well. Uh, Moving on to the use cases. The use cases, I've listed on three use cases here. So these are pretty common ones. Like customer support automation is pretty common. I think a lot of organizations want 24/7 support, right? So in order to do that, they can have Einstein bot, which can provide kind of round the clock customer support by answering like FAQs and also guiding the users with some basic troubleshooting steps rather than a sales agent or a service rep getting on each client call and understanding and helping them out with some basic uh, features, right? And rather than the human agents can focus on more complex issues and get those resolved quicker rather than some simple issues. So it leads to case deflection and a 24/7 support in terms of customer support automation. Then the next pretty common use case is sales assistance. So a lead qualification is kind of pretty important, right? So the bot can engage with the client on your website and maybe some other digital platforms, and they can like qualify the lead, ask them the relevant questions, pitch them about the products, help them understand what the product is. All the generalized messaging and communication can be done by the bot, and then it can hand over the conversation to a sales guy, and that sales guy can kind of follow through there and have the browsing history, understand what the bot had interacted with the client, and pitch basis that. So kind of product recommendations and everything can be done by the bots. So this is pretty common use case. I think if you visit any retail website, they'll have a bot that can assist you with different products and pricing and all. This is my favorite order management. I use it pretty often with a lot of organizations. Recently with Nike, I had ordered Jordans, and they were not delivering. So I just reached out to the bot, and it helped me track the status of my order, and also expedited the process. So you can raise a case from related to your order. You can track your order. You want to modify your order. You want to cancel it. A bot can help you, and you don't need to reach out to customer support in that case. So this is pretty helpful, and there are tons of use cases when it comes to bots. I have covered only a few out here. That was pretty much from a deck perspective. I'll dive into the demo now, and then we'll see how we can create a bot. Let me reshare my other screen. Is my screen visible now? Hello.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
visible now.
Sorry, we were muted. Yeah, we can see now.
Perfect, perfect. So this is a devlog. You can experiment it on your devlog as well. Just need to go to the setup. I hope everybody is familiar with the Salesforce UI, or how are things there?
Yeah, I think so. Yep. Nuance.
Great. So some internet glitch at my end probably. So first you can type in bots here. It'll ask you to enable the bot. My org has already enabled the bot, so it is not prompting me to. And this is the bot that I've already created. I'll just give you a quick demo. Or let me take you to an actual website and then let's demo out from there. So you have this embedded app. This is part of the Omni channel, which is kind of a different setup, which will not be covering in this session today. But consider this as your website for the organization, and then you have a bot out here. I think some internet lag at my end. Yeah, there you go. So let me say hi, and the bot has joined. The name of the bot is Kizzy. So it says Kizzy join, and it is asking me, do you want to inquire about an existing case, or you want to create a new case? So let me say inquire about existing cases. It says, can you enter your email to identify the case? It will give me a list of the cases that I have, and I can select whatever case status I want to know. So maybe this. So it says status of your case number this is still in working, and can I help you with something else? If I click on yes, it will give me another option. You want to transfer to an agent, want to go to the main menu, want to end the chat. So for now, I just end the chat, but you can also transfer to an agent, and it will redirect you to the agent, and then agent can take on the conversation from there in case the customer has some other questions. Uh, this is one of the basic bots that I have built for the demo perspective, but it can be enhanced to any levels, and you can have a lot of logic and algorithms behind it. You can also add some AI models on top of it to understand the sentiments and intent of the client and then respond accordingly. So I'll come back to a bit technical aspect of it. These are the 6 or 7 kind of different variations or different modules inside the pod. So we'll be covering starting from the overview. So this is basically the overview of the bot. Whenever you create a bot, it will ask you the name. I have added Kizzy as my name. That is the name of the organization. Then I've added a description. The language is English. Last modified date. Modified by this is pretty common. Then conversation language is English. You can add other languages as well. It is multilingual. And then this connection is basically for the standard bots. This is an enhanced bot, so this is not relevant here. But if it is a standard bot, connections help you link your bot to your web page. But we have used a different route. We are using a messaging channel, so it is slightly different. This is a flow that connects to the bot. So this is the website, right? Whenever I message hi here, this is the flow that redirects to the bot, the chat to the bot. So this is very helpful, and this is kind of standard You don't need to do much about it. Salesforce automatically handles that. And we have a few settings here. Let me deactivate it for now and demo it. So this is basically bot response delay. So you can set the response time. So default is 1.2 second, but you can customize it as per your organization standards to the bot response rate. So this is basically how long will the bot take to respond to a single message that the client has mentioned. Then we have log conversations. So if you want to track all the Einstein bot conversation and log them in the system to run an AI model on top of it or to analyze, then you can have this log conversations enabled, and this also helps you debug. So it also maintains debug logs, which we'll be covering in a few minutes. So I make sure this is on. This is a best practice. Then you have a bot user. So basically a bot user is something, you need to give bot the permissions to access the data whatever you want. So the basic bot user is available, but it won't have the permissions to do so, so the bot will not perform at its best. So it is important to use a custom chatbot user. I have used mine. If you have an extra license, this is the best way. You can assign an admin license or a license with the full access, so that the bot runs with all the permissions out there. Then we have outbound omni-channel flow. This is basically a flow. This creates a flow, and this helps you route it to an agent. So whenever you want to route it to an agent, this is a flow that you have to tag. This is also auto-created by Salesforce. You don't have to do pretty much on this as well. Then intent enhancements. This is a cross-lingual intent model. This is primarily to create intent and intent sets related to AI. Will not be diving into this as part of this topic, but yeah, this is very powerful if you want to use AI. So moving on to the dialogues. Anyways, we'll be covering this later. I'll just move to the next step here. When we have entities, consider these as different data types like we have in Salesforce, right? So if you want to say create a different data type, say color, right? And you wanted to have certain values, limited to certain values, kind of like a pick list, right? So I've already created this. I just demonstrate that. So like color entity has two values, green and red. It can only have two values. If a customer enters something apart from these two, it will throw an error. So this way you can validate the data is correct, and this has multiple use cases. For example, you are an automotive player, right? And you are asking for a car model number from the client. You can add some entities and add all the models that your company has, so that there's no junk data in the system, and this is a great way to manage and maintain the data set. And then there are other as well. You can create text, you can create date and different sorts of entities, but primary use cases for validation and creating different data sets. Moving on to the variables. Variables, again, we have different types of variables. Some are context variables, some are custom variables, and then there are system variables. So context variables are primarily the one using which you can get the context of that particular chat session. So for example, this chat session out here is linked to some client, right? And you'll get the contact ID of that particular customer here. So you can use that contact ID and reach out to them or tag the conversation to them or understand where the customer is coming from. So that kind of helps. And then routable ID is also similar to the chat ID. It shows chat ID, and it is end user ID is the user basis which context it is running. So it gives you three context variables. Then custom variables, you can create your own variables. We'll create a few while we go into step by step implementation. Then we have some system variables. These are like last customer input date, bot ID. Bot ID is really powerful. This helps you debug the bot in case there are multiple bot instances running. Then there is answer input, answer results, and all these kind of system variables out there. But we cannot create any more context variable and system variables. We can only create the custom variables out here. Moving on to the next goals. These are pretty important. So whenever you're running a bot, right, you want to analyze, okay, what is the customer selecting. You can add a goal there, and then you can track, okay, five customer has visited inquire about existing cases 5 times. So this helps you track if certain areas of a bot is not being used, you can modify them or gauge more interest into the client. You can tweak them. So this helps the team to understand and analyze if what sections of the bot are being used more. So I'll show you out here in dialogues. You see the goal is added here. So if somebody reaches this stage, this means that they have achieved this particular goal and inquire about existing cases, and it will increase the count automatically here on the goal. So this helps you track how many times somebody is reaching to goals, and helps you track and modify the bot for better efficiencies. And you can easily go here and give the name, say, not test, probably agent transfer, and you can select transfer to an agent, and anytime somebody transfers to an agent, you can track how many people are transferring to an agent, which helps you look at the efficiency of the bot and see if the bot is performing to its maximum capacity, or you can still tweak the bot so that there are reduced agent transfers, because the goal is to reduce the agent transfers and focus on bot, so that bot can resolve most of the queries out there. And then we have performance. This is basically where you can track your error, like you see, right? This has an error message. You can click on the session ID, and it will give you the entire list of uh, steps that were followed, and where the error occurred. So error occurred here, it will give you the entire list. Okay, that there was a rich content, then the customer responded to point 3, it said end chat, the chat was ended, and things like that. So you can also enable the show debug level, which will kind of display you what debug level are we at. So this is pretty powerful and useful from a debugging perspective. It is not great, I would say. It can be improved a lot, but it is still helpful in order to debug. You at least know which node you need to target at. And then it also has some analytics dashboard. You can go to App Exchange, install the dashboards, and use it from Einstein Analytics. I've not used it much, but it works great. Then we have model management. This is where your AI capabilities come into play. You can enable your bot. You can train your bot. You can add multiple intents. You can train your bot, and you can also build your own model. So it requires minimum data set in order to have the model ready. So since this is a devlog, we don't have the model connected. But in case it is a production or a sandbox for a customer use, you can build your own bot or connect an existing bot model here. So this was more about the basic configuration on the Einstein bot. We'll dive into the step-by-step implementation. Before that, I would just like to ask any questions so far, or are you getting it? Any questions?
Do you have any questions, Joey? Any areas?
Pretty cool.
No, at the moment, it's pretty straightforward, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So till now it is pretty straightforward. Now we dive into the implementation.
Exactly. Yeah.
It looks pretty cool, though.
Yeah. No. I think there are a lot. It is very powerful, and you can also automate WhatsApp and other Facebook Messenger. So anybody messaging on Facebook or WhatsApp can receive these kind of uh, messages automatically. I can't demo it from a because that has been implemented from a customer standpoint, but yeah, I can maybe show you once I'm there.
Okay.
Actually, I do have a question now.
Yep.
You mentioned Facebook, but not about Facebook. Because you have email plugin as well. So any of your bots can actually be used for writing emails as an intent, or not yet.
No, for bot doesn't run on email. It runs on messaging, SMS, the web chat. So therein it can reply automatically while reading through the AI models. You'll have to connect and build the AI model on top of it, and then it can run intents and write anything you want. But for email, you can use Einstein Copilot that is available, which can auto write the
Yeah.
emails.
This is what I was asking. So can you ask about like, look, I want to send the email to the whole company to tell about sales news. Can you write this email, compose an email for me? And then bot goes like, "Do, do, 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 do." And then, oh, okay, I'll use this, I'll modify this, or I'll send it as the bot. Like, you can then modify it or send it as is.
Yeah. So there are a couple of options there. Einstein Copilot, I think, has that feature, and otherwise you can integrate with ChatGPT. So what we have done internally is we have a component that integrates with ChatGPT. Just type in your
Uh,
description there. ChatGPT kind of brings in the email. Just copy and paste it, and it's done. So it is
Okay,
all
so
it is integrated within Salesforce. You don't have to log into ChatGPT separately. It kind of
I
works in. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, okay. So you're using that. You're not using your own bots for that yet.
No, we are not using the co-pilots and bots for that because ChatGPT started last year, right? So we are pretty curious to integrate it. So we just created a small demo and couple of
Yeah.
customers did. So yeah, they're using the ChatGPT there.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
Everybody
Thank
is having the ChatGPT license, right? So they don't want to purchase another co-pilot license. So
you.
they,
Yeah.
they,
Yeah. Then- But
they'll
do
go.
you know if there's I don't know if there's a need for Salesforce to update, like to improve the bots to that level yet, or not yet? I don't know. Somebody was telling me, was the Richard telling about this morning
About what?
about the bots to work inside the Salesforce emails and all of that.
I'm not sure.
I think Richard was. So, I mean, there's people talking about this, but not. We don't know if Salesforce is actually planning to do this in the future or not.
Mhm.
I don't know if there's an expectation or the need on the market for that. So,
Yeah, no,
for
we
example,
current-
sorry. It's just because our bot, our AI technological genie, she can do this. She can do anything. She can
Mhm.
create stories. She can create emails. She can create links, like share, like a online share or online share rooms and things like that. So yeah, it's already customers already using that. They're already using it's in production already. Yeah. So
yeah.
therefore, yeah,
So that Yeah, that is not actually a bot in Salesforce. They have relabeled it to Einstein Copilot, and Einstein Copilot have that capabilities. That is not part of the Einstein bots, though. A bot is
mm,
basically a conversation with the customer who is interacting with you through multi channels, like maybe SMS and all that. So it kind of integrates well with digital engagement side of things. But I think, yeah, if Genie is doing it, great.
yeah. I mean, yeah, obviously we all came like a long way and everything, and we had to follow the needs. What our customer want, what's the need there, like, and how it will speed up and help the sales, because it's all we are like more focused on sales and all of that.
No, no, that's great. That's great.
Therefore, yeah, therefore the priorities were to develop this set of features that will speed up and optimize and really help wherever possible. Also, another thing is role play. So where they teach salespeople training, so they'll interact with the bot on specific scenarios. Like, oh, I want to sell this product to a difficult customer, so impersonate difficult,
Impersonate.
and they go the conversation using voice and things like that. So it's pretty actually cool. Yeah. So I was just what I was asking is Salesforce doing any of that?
No, not yet. You're not. You're in a good shape.
Okay.
Yeah, I think everybody's using ChatGPT to write the emails, right? Nobody's writing emails these days. I don't see all the LinkedIn post. Everything is kind of so much similar, revolutionizing, or maybe something like pretty common words are there. Like, you kind of get to know that this is a ChatGPT written post. So that is getting pretty popular.
Okay.
Sounds good. Any other questions, or shall we dive into the step by step implementation?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
We are
Sounds good.
good, so we can proceed. Yeah.
Perfect. I'll share my screen again. Let me know if it's visible.
Yeah.
Yep, we can see it.
Perfect. So let's go to the bot and create a new one. Some issue with my network today. So we'll create an enhanced bot, and we'll start from the scratch. We'll name it Casey's bot, and let's say primary language is English. And hi, I'm your little assistant. Just a sec. And then it will say inquire about an existing case or create a new case. You can add up to 3 items here, right? I'm only adding 2 for now, and then I will hit next. So this is where the outbound and inbound flow comes into play. I'll say, okay, create a new outbound flow and create a new inbound flow. Click on proceed. It will do some creation in the backend. It will create your bot and click finish. There you go. The bot is ready. Now we want to build on top of it, right? So the first thing we're going to do is we're asking them, since they have selected. So these out here, these are kind of different intents, right? So first is if they say inquire about existing cases, then this dialog will open. If they say create a new case and we can build on top of it, welcome is different. It says as soon as the bot joins, it will say hi, I am a Kizzy's bot, how can I assist you? And then the main menu comes up. Then you have the main menu. You have transfer to the agent. This will transfer the chat to the agent. Then you have standard end chat. This will end the chat. If the bot gets confused, it will say sorry, I don't understand. You can tweak it as well. You can tweak it from here, whatever messaging you want. Then if there are no agents available, it will say, unfortunately, there are no agents available at the moment, and it will keep you waiting in the queue. Then you have error handling, and if there is some error, some backend issue, it will say, unfortunately, a system error occurred. Let us start again, and you can also change the wording from here. So these are the basic dialogues here. Now let's create about let's dive into the dialogue for inquiring about the existing case. So first let's ask them a question. Can you share your email address for us to look into your cases, right? And then it can be a button option. Entity, this is basically a data type. It is asking that what kind of reply shall we expect. So I'll put it as email address. Then you want to save it to a new variable. I'll create a new variable, say email, and then save it up. And let's save the bot. Now this is the first step. Next step is once we have the email, we'll probably create a flow. I've already created an existing flow. I'll just walk you through that. So I've created a flow called get case. Let us use this existing flow only, and it has. Let me open the flow. Able to see the flow screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, you're able to see the flow builder, right?
Yep.
Okay, great. So this basically inputs the email, searches all the cases corresponding to their contact email, and where the status is not closed, and it kind of returns that. So it is a pretty simple flow. We'll just reutilize this flow as part of our bot. So we'll have to pass in the email address. It will be the email, the variable we just created, and then it will return us the flow interview ID. We don't need this for now. It will return us the list of cases. So we'll have to create a new variable. Let us go to the variables. Create a new case list variable, and it will be of the type object because it will return the object. It will be a list. So let's create this variable. And then once the customer selects, right, we would need a case object variables basis the selected case object. So let's create another variable. This will help us in the future. It will not be a list. It will be just an object. I'll show you why this is important. And then let's go here and map it to the case list and this case obj to a case object. That's pretty much it. Let me save it up. So now what is happening is we'll ask the customer for their email address. We'll search the case. We'll get the list of the cases. Now the next step is to validate if there are any cases existing. So Let's add a rule here, redirect to dialog, and add a condition, say if case list length is less than 1, then redirect to the main menu. If like there's no case associated with that email, and redirect to the main menu and send a message stating no case found, right? Or no cases found. Yeah. So what this will do is this will basically check and see if there are no cases associated to it. It will redirect to the main menu. They can restart with maybe they have entered some incorrect email, and they can check it and re-enter, and it will also display a message that no cases found. And then once this is done, we can move on to the next step. The next step is if the cases are found, then it'll skip this particular rule, and it'll dive into the next step. So the next step is to display the dynamic list of cases. It will say list of cases colon, and we can give an action type here. We'll use a list variable, and it will be a case list. And the rule can be the backup rule can be returned to dialog. It can return to an error handler. Then the entity, it is basically asking what kind of entity will it be. So on selection, the entity will be object, and the variable will be case object. So this is basically asking, if the person selects some value, where do you want to store that value? So it will be in the case object, and then we'll save it up. Some issue. Okay, yeah. So this basically asks you, since we'll be displaying a list of cases, what particular field you want to display. So it will be case number. You want to display the case numbers. Uh, what is this issue? Let me reload. I think I'll have to recreate that one. No problem. I'll do that. List of cases, and then it will be dynamic. The action type will be from list variable, and then it will be object list. The rule will be redirect to dialog. In case of any backup, it will say error, and entity will be object, expected response format, and then we'll put it in the case object like we discussed, and the format here would be case number. This is the field we want to display, and we'll save it up. Now when the customer selects, what case they want to inquire about, then we can display a static message. Sorry, my bad. We can display a message saying your case, and this is how dynamically pull in the values from the case object. It will say case number. It will be status of your case number is, and then you can pull in the status. So this will help you display, and this is for just a demo purpose, but you can elaborate and do whatever detail you want to share here. Right. That goes, and then if you want to after this, you can ask them a question saying uh, maybe anything else. Can I assist with anything else? Right, and then the menu can be, and you can kind of store it into a text variable and put it in a variable called customer response and save it. You can add choices like yes and no, and then you can do probably whatever you want to do with this. You can probably redirect to them to the main menu or you know whatever. Let me redirect. No. But let's try this out first if it is working or not, because this will throw us an error which is hi. The bot started working. It says let me select the first option, and then it will give us an error now. It's unfortunately a system error occurred. This is because it went to the error handling piece. Now, why this error occurred is because if you remember out here we have selected basics chatbot user only. We have not added the custom user. So the bot is not having access to get fetch the cases. So that is the reason it is showing us an error. Now, once we change it to Sanjeev, this user is an admin user and it has all the accesses, so it can pretty much get all the cases. Now, if we try to run the bot, it should work fine. It got me the list of cases, and if I inquire about it, it will say status of the case is working and can I assist you with anything else. So this is how you can create a bot. This is a very basic bot. You can do lot of things here. If you go here, right, there are a lot of features. You can ask a file attachment, you can message out, you can have dynamic question, static question, you can authenticate with some integration, you can have a form. I think form is available only on chat, it is not available on Facebook and WhatsApp, but still you can use it. You can have payments integrated, you can have a time selector, you can run your apex, you can call an API, you can add goals, you can have knowledge feedback, you can search for an object, you can send email. You can do a lot of things. So I think it is pretty cool, and once we dive deeper into it, basis the use cases, we can do a lot more. So yeah, this was pretty much from a implementation standpoint. Any questions on implementation?
Certainly.
It's pretty cool. It's really detailed. It go step by step.
Yeah, I think it's really good. I got a questions.
Yeah, it has a lot of other capabilities. You can auto send an email, from here. You can call an external service. You suppose if the cases are not residing in your platform, it is also integrated with something else, or there's an order which is in your ERP. You can kind of integrate, and then bot can quickly respond rather than a person going into the system looking at it and things like that.
So, kind of questions. When it's transferred to agent, does it does it transfer? Does it require a configurations to get it working for the transfer to agent?
Yeah, so I'll show you that. Let me reshare my screen again. So when you're here, right, in the bot, so here on the bot, on the overview, you have this route from Kizzy, right? This is basically transferring to an agent. Let me show you the flow. So if you open this flow, this has route work element, and this pastes the ID. The service channel is messaging, and it routes you to this queue.
Mm.
Okay. Is this out of the
And
box or you create this component?
no, so yeah, this is part of the bot, and bot auto creates this. You can configure it. You can add the queue and a channel and everything. So I've configured it. Let me show you. I think it should work. I've already configured it. So let me show you around. Let me see if I have configured that. So this is the so how I configured it, Kenny, is that you go to messaging,
Mm.
settings, and this is the chat, right?
Yeah.
Wow, impressive. That's really cool.
And from this chat you can say, so how it is routing to the bot is, so this is the chat, and you see the omni flow. This flow is routing it to Kizzy, which is the bot name, and this is the fallback queue. In case the bot fails, it will automatically route it to an agent. So that is how it works, and then the bot can transfer it back to this queue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
let me show you how it works. Embedded, what do you call it? Embedded chat. So this is the embedded service, right? You go here and you can get this code snippet. You can insert it anywhere on our website. For testing, I'm using their testing service.
Okay.
I'll route it to the agent, activating the bot.
Oh, wow. Cool.
It will say, I'll say hi, and we'll have to go through the entire process once, but I will do it. And I'll add my email. Let's say yes. Let me say yes, and it will give me another main menu. I said transfer to an agent, right? And
Yep.
now I'm here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No.
And now I can chat, hey, Sanjeet here, and then it will say hey, Sanjeet here.
Okay. Wow.
That
Nice.
works.
So does it get like if you get like 100 of them, they just piling up in the queue there? Yeah.
Yeah. So and once you end the chat, it will end the chat, and
Yeah.
the Sanjeet has left now.
Yeah. Left. Okay. Cool.
Nice.
And when you say hi again, it will again route to the bot.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the main flow starts. The main flow starts or default flow, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, default flow starts.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
I got another question. So, if is this available to learn and having a hands-on in Trailhead, or
Yeah,
not
yeah.
really?
You can go through Trailhead, and you can have your devlog. You can configure it in your devlog and use it. This is a devlog which I'm presenting right now.
Okay. So they give you like a free
Playground. Yeah.
playground.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, free playground, and then you can also configure this. Let me share my screen again.
Do it, Kenny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Under the messaging settings, right, you can have different channels. You can have WhatsApp, you can have web chat, and you can have SMS, you can have Facebook Messenger, you can have Apple Message, you can have Line. So you can connect it to any of your messaging channel, and it will work on the similar way.
Work on Messenger. Cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So what we are doing is we are connecting our for one of our customers. We are connecting it to Facebook, SMS, messaging, and WhatsApp. So all the channels will behave in a similar way. So if a customer reaches out through SMS, he'll have a similar experience. WhatsApp will have a similar experience. Line will have a similar experience, and Facebook will also have a similar experience. So that is why it is kind of, and the same flow, same bot runs on all the platforms. So if you change in one flow, one bot, it will reflect in all the channels. That is the power of the bot. Yeah.
So let's say if you want to configure in Facebook, do you need to reconfigure it, or is already predefined, or like
No,
WhatsApp already?
you have to connect your Facebook to the digital engagement with Salesforce, and then configure the bot to that Facebook channel.
I see. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Very flexible in terms of configuration, selecting on whatever you want in your flow.
Yeah, it's pretty flexible, and you can connect your Apex. So that is the biggest power, right? You can, with Apex you can do like whatever you want.
Yeah.
So connecting the Apex is the biggest thing, I believe.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and these are also flows, right? In the back end, it is a flow. So they have created a flow which kind of picks up and does the job, automated flows kind of stuff.
Mm, mm.
What are the challenges that you ever face in the doing this pod?
So the bots are not new, I would say, but not much people have explored it. So it is kind of challenging at the beginning, right, to understand how it works, how the routing works. Sometimes it throws an error. So those were the challenges that our team was facing, and then we sat down for a couple of days and did a couple of workshops and analyzed and understood what are the challenges. And in terms of from a customer centric point of view, licensing can be a challenge. Like you need a service cloud license, you need a messaging license in order for the bot to activate. Then you'll get, I think, 24 different chat conversations or chat users per month. And then if you have to purchase, if you want to scale it to 100 or 200. So but I think our customers are loving it, and they are seeing the ROI on top of it. Because what happens usually is a lot of organizations, somebody is on WhatsApp, and everybody kind of, the sales guy is messaging on WhatsApp, and they are having the communication with them literally, but it is not in the system. So if the sales guy goes and a new person comes in, the conversation is lost. So you reach out to the customer again, and you don't know what the prior conversations were. So this is kind of a omni-channel experience which we are creating for our customers, wherein if it is SMS, Facebook, call, WhatsApp, whatever, the all the conversation resides in the platform, and they can't use their personal WhatsApps to message the customer. They'll have to use the organization WhatsApp, which is integrated to Salesforce. So it is easier for them also to converge because it is in the platform, and they don't have to manage and maintain. And handovers are also pretty easy.
Mm.
So that is what our customers are loving about it.
Yes. Cool. Any other questions?
No, not for me. No.
No? Okay. I'll get the I'll get the waitress to